Hey guys, this is Scott from Rebellious Noise, and today I am joined by,
Hey guys, it's Dan from Rebellious Noise.
and we are talking FA Cup final predictions.
Oh,
Right.
see you later then. Bye.
As you can see, and I'm an Arsenal fan, if you didn't already know. Dan's a Man United fan, so I guess we'll just briefly start with a bit of that, Dan. Not to rub it in, but how does it feel to not be in the final?
I suppose finishing third in the league, guaranteed European football,
It's not a
Champions
trophy
League
though, is it?
football,
Not a trophy though, is it? You know?
makes up for it,
I mean, you
and we're going to win,
yourself, you
and we're going to win the
yourself
Europa League. So there we go.
in the last, oh, we'll see. In the last video, we were talking about how second means nothing. So you can't start saying third means something, mate.
No,
But well
we
done on
said
getting.
second. We said second means nothing. We didn't say nothing about third.
All right, yeah, cool. But yeah, like just briefly, how did you feel with that semi-final? It was obviously
um,
you've
in
clawed it
all
back a little bit in the
seriousness,
league, but yeah.
yeah, like the semi final, like up until like the I say 45th minute, but the you know end of the first half, shall we say?
Oh yeah, that's the game where it went on for another like 15 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
well,
Isn't it? Yeah.
it's actually quite weird the fact that the time of the first goal was after the time of the second
Oh
goal.
yeah, yeah. So like 56 and 46 or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think the Giroud goal it's saying 45 minutes plus 11, and then
Mm.
Mounts was 46. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I thought it was disappointing. I mean, why he switched it and went three at the back, I don't
Mm.
know. When the four's been working absolutely fine,
Mm.
as we saw from the Premier League, we'd gone on like a 14 game unbeaten run with a back four. Why you'd suddenly then change it to a back
Mm.
five in a cup game
So that's what we
was,
weren't sure of, were we? In the last like video we done on the FA Cup, we were saying,
yeah,
who's going to prioritize who's going to get rested, what would be considered the stronger teams for a lot of these teams, and yeah, I mean it's fair to say I was quite shocked once this weekend was over because both of us ended up predicting City and United, didn't we? So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we both said it would be pretty much a Manchester derby in the
mm,
final, but instead we got the London derby and not the banter derby
yeah,
as we kind of would
exactly.
have hoped for. But
Yeah. As long as it weren't the El Clasico, right? All good.
yeah, true, true.
But
Um,
yeah.
and it's really nice as well that we're going to get like a fresh manager like Lampard or Arteta that are
Mm,
actually going to win the FA Cup and they're going to get their first trophy, under their belts,
mm.
and that will hopefully propel one of them to do quite well. And I mean, especially for you guys, it's like I suppose this is now a must-win game. Like it's
Oh,
the like literally
100%.
the I don't like to keep saying it, but it's the only chance you guys have got to get in
Mm.
Europe now, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just a straight shootout now with Views and Wolves, because like if you guys win, then you're in Europa League. If you don't, then Wolves are in the Europa League.
Mm.
But then I'm not sure how it works if Wolves win the Europa League and then they go into
Mm.
the Champions League. Will that then drop to the team, either the
Yeah, I'm
team
not
that
sure
finished
actually. There's so many
eighth in the league,
factors.
or here we go. So, in normal circumstances, free Europa League places are given to English clubs who fulfil the following criteria. The fifth place team in the Premier League qualify for the group stage proper. In
Hmm.
this case, that was Leicester. The winners of the FA Cup will qualify for the group stage proper. So that's you guys, or
If it's us,
Chelsea.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's you.
Yeah.
And then the EFL Cup winners will qualify for the second qualifying round, which was City.
Mm.
If the EFL Cup winners finish in the top five, which City did, or
Mm.
top six, then their second qualifying round place will go to the next highest ranked team, not qualified for UEFA competitions in the Premier League. So Tottenham will be in it due to
Right.
the
Okay.
fact that City won that. And then if the FA Cup winners finish in the top five, so if Chelsea win it pretty much, then their group stage place will go to the next highest ranked team,
Mm.
not qualified for UEFA competitions. So that could go to Wolves, who finish in seventh. But then if Wolves win the Europa League, it would go as far down as eighth. So pretty
Right.
much
Okay.
whoever finished in eighth of in the Premier League. To be fair, I've not looked that down that far this
Mm.
season, so I wouldn't know who
Well,
finished
that's
eighth.
us.
But
Right.
that,
That's us.
I thought we would finish eighth. So
Yeah, it weren't the best league season. I'll put that out there. But
yeah,
yeah, hopefully the entire season for us at least is going to end on a high. Like if you've seen our previous previews of the last two rounds, you'll know that I was not convinced at all by Arsenal's performances going into those games. We've been
You've
up
gone
and down.
against Arsenal in both rounds.
I know. And I started to think, oh, maybe that's a thing I should do going forward. Just keep saying that, because I was shocked when we beat Sheffield United, and needless to say, I was very shocked when we beat Manchester City. But during the game, it wasn't as much as a shock. We were doing very well. We did very well to see that game through. Obviously, it weren't a normal Arsenal performance, or what used to be Arsenal at least, because we're not the same Arsenal anymore. But so maybe it is the new Arsenal performance. This is how we play against teams in the Big Six, maybe, because we had just done it to Liverpool a few days earlier, obviously, which gave me a bit more belief going into the Man City game. But to do it twice in a week. But then obviously straight after that, we're losing to Villa again. So, it's hard to call. But I think it's these one-off games.
Isn't it, mate?
Yeah, and I really do think the focus shifted towards the end, even though it was still mathematically possible before. I think the Man City game for us to finish in Europa League places. I think the shift was probably starting to switch to the FA Cup, because it was about the same amount of games you had to win. And I'd rather get the FA Cup and a Europa League spot than just a Europa League spot anyway. To me, the FA Cup is still very prestigious thing. I absolutely love it. We've gone on about this on this channel for years, but I've always loved the FA Cup. And it's not just because my team have the most wins in it. I've always loved the FA Cup ever since I was a kid. It's just, I'm all about tradition and all that good stuff. But saying that though, Chelsea themselves, they haven't exactly had minimal success in this. They've done all right themselves. I think it's 8, if I'm looking. Yeah, 8 times they've won it, most recently in 2018. And obviously the year before that was the last London derby in an FA Cup final, Arsenal versus Chelsea back then. And back then, Arsenal won 2-1 against a tougher Chelsea team, I'd say. But at the same time, a better Arsenal team as well. I think Chelsea had just won the league then as well. So yeah,
possibly. I think both teams have gone, since then, have both gone on more of a rebuilding rebuilding phase sort of thing. And I mean, especially the new Wembley, I think Chelsea have had quite a bit of success at that new Wembley as well. I remember the first FA Cup final at the new Wembley. I think they beat us in that as well. United Chelsea was the first ever one there, and historically Drogba had a fantastic record there. Every time he'd play there, he scored. And I think for you guys, you must be like, oh, thank goodness Drogba's not playing
because
he was always anymore, kind of thing. But
he was always doing things against Arsenal as well. So combine those two things. I'm glad he's not there.
I think this is written now for Giroud to just pop up 90
See, this is what I'm worried about.
Score the winner and then do the old Adebayor run the length of the pitch, knee slide in front of the empty seats.
See, Giroud left on what felt like good terms to the fans, we understood, he weren't going to have the same, because we've got Aubameyang in. So now Aubameyang and Lacazette need to step up in this game. And like I said in the last thing, they haven't really done that in the big, the finals, the semi-finals as much as we used to get from Alexis Sanchez and Ozil and stuff like that. But, then look what Aubameyang goes and does against City. So he's definitely kind of able to do it. He's had an incredible season again, just missed out on the Golden Boot. But when you combine these two tallies together, he's above and beyond other people in the league. He's done incredible since he came to Arsenal. We just really, really need to keep a hold of him. But that's another conversation for another day. But I guess we're getting to predictions.
To be fair, we've not done too well so far in these predictions. So I'm guessing you're going to say Chelsea in the hope of an Arsenal win. So.
Here's the thing. I don't want to get all superstitious with it or anything like that. Now I'm going to go with my genuine kind of belief. And that was my genuine thoughts last time round. Was I felt like we could do it. And I felt like Chelsea could have beaten you guys. But I just thought your sneakiness would kind of prevail, as it did on the last day of the season, getting another penalty. But with this, I'm actually going to go Arsenal, man. I just feel like we did really, Chelsea did well to beat you guys, yeah? But I feel like it was a bigger thing for us to beat City, the way we did it. And I just think, if we could do that, we'd do anything. So I don't want to be naive. Again, watch the previous episodes where I'm just being quite realistic with it. And I like to think I'm being I think we got more chance of beating Chelsea than we did of City. And if that's the case, just like in 2017, it was beating City that made me think we could do what we did in 2017 final, against Chelsea. And I think, it's much more likely, I think, than us beating City, and we actually did that. So don't get me wrong, I'm scared of what Chelsea can do. Europa League flashbacks, mate. I don't want to be getting them. But yeah, and like I was saying earlier, you know, Giroud left on kind of a decent note, and then you had last year where there was that video of him on the team bus saying "Thank you, Arsenal" with the trophy, and it's like, you know. So kind of to your point again, I don't want to see that again with Giroud. Like last year, it was another thing of like getting in Champions League places would be good, but last year it was more about like, yeah, but I want to win a trophy and getting it. Like that's the double success there, you know. So depends how you define success, you know, top four finishes and all that. But yeah, for me, it's a silverware all day long. You know, maybe not the Audi Cup, but the FA Cup, I'll have a bit of that. But yeah, maybe I'm being naive, Dan. Here comes your thing to ruin the party, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like you did, like in all fairness, that you did call Chelsea in the semi-finals. You did say that you reckon Chelsea are going to go on and win the FA Cup, and you know, if the history of your predictions come true, then whoever you say is going to win will not win. So Chelsea, you know, I mean, it's
well, no, that was the quarters. I said that then. Yeah,
the quarter-final.
By the time they got to you, I thought you guys were going to do it.
Yeah, so it had switched already, but I mean, when you look at like both of the semi-finals, really, it's like, you know, Man City pretty much like looked like they dominated possession. They had exactly the same amount of shots as Chelsea did, but the only thing is, so you beat City 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
City only had 2 shots on target the entire game, so they were never really going to win. Like, whereas Chelsea had 12 shots on goal and 7 on target, so it seemed like Chelsea are going to be, I think, more testing like Martinez and stuff, and you know, especially with Arsenal's back four, and you know, it's, well, if you play a back four or back five, and you know, it's been traditionally quite like shaky at the back. I mean, I can sit here and say about shaky defences at the moment and shaky goalkeepers, and you know, Chelsea taking pot shots and stuff. But you know, I think both. It's going to be one of these games. It's going to be, I think, quite close. It'll probably be decided by a single goal. So it's either going to be like a 1-0 or a 2-1. For me, it's a toss of a coin either way. I think Arsenal, will go more a case of we have to win this, whereas Chelsea will be like, oh, it'd be nice to win it, but like, you know,
this is how I felt about Europa League final, though. You know, because they already had Champions League football, so it was like a wasted spot on them. Do you know what I mean? But they wanted that trophy still.
Yeah, and it's like you know, and it's like we said before as well. It's like, you know, seasons are not going to be defined on like league position is not everything. It's going to be defined on at the end of your career. Oh yeah, where's your medal for finishing like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth? It's like you're not going to get a medal for that. You're going to get medals for, you know, lifting a trophy. If they said, oh, what did you do in the 2020 season? Oh, I won the FA Cup. Oh, I finished third. It's like, where's your medal? And you know, it's like what Roy Keane was saying about Liverpool winning the league. It's like, oh, they could go on and break records. He says, yeah, but it's still going to say the same thing on the medal, Premier League champion. You know, it's not going to say, oh, with this amount of points or whatever. But
yeah,
you know, and I think for Arteta, he's had that winning mentality kind of thing under Guardiola when he was his assistant at Man City. So I think, you know, for him, that's going to be his aim. I think he's going to try and play football the right way. But then I think both of them are probably going to be looking towards the summer for like a big rebuilding. I say the summer, the next couple of weeks, pretty much.
Yeah. But I think, like I said in the last video, I think Chelsea are looking dangerous already. The signings have already made.
Yeah,
and this is why I think Arsenal definitely need it more. We need the. I know people say about Europa League. I mentioned this last time as well, but like realistically, it does give you more money. Might not be Champions League money, but it's more money, you know. And all right, it might be more of a strain on our squad next year, not just being in one thing, like how Leicester managed obviously win the league without having, you know, another competition like European Cups to focus on. But and the year Chelsea did as well. But for me, it's like, yeah, we need that money. We need to be in Europa League for that money, and we need the bonus from the FA Cup as well, and the boost and the lift from the FA Cup. And I feel like that was a big thing about why I would have preferred Leicester to get out. No, not to be offensive to you, Dan. Sorry, mate, but to get that other spot in the top four than Man United, because I think again, Man United is now going to get Champions League money. Man United is now going to be on a high from, getting into that competition. You know, I don't think you guys are going to go all the way and win it, but being in it is something, you know. So I think all these teams around us are rebuilding, and they are getting those, you know, a little bit of the rub here and there from good transfers, from good budgeting or whatever else. We really need a little bit of that, you know. We need to win a trophy, and we need to kind of get at least a little bit more cash to build that transfer fund.
Yeah, and it's not just like the transfer fund thing as well. It's about like you need to be in Europe to I feel anyway. You need to be in Europe to attract like the best players possible, because it's like, you know, someone that's maybe already in like a team that are playing in the Champions League or Europa League, if they think, oh, so what, am I going to just go to a team that's just going to be playing like 38 games in the Premier League, have a decent cup run, or do I want to go and play for somebody who's going to be playing in Europe kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, I think players nowadays will be more like, oh, you know, at least if I go to this club, you know, even someone like Wolves, or as we say, as we mentioned, Leicester, you know, it's like some players might look at Leicester as a more attractive proposition at the moment. You know, now, when did we think we'd be saying that? Like Leicester being a more attractive proposition than Arsenal. But they may look at it as, okay, Leicester are playing in Europe, at least, you know, I'll get to play in the Premiership against the same players week in, week out. But then I've also got that European competition as well. Whereas, you know, yes, playing for the Arsenal badge, the Arsenal name is a bigger deal. It's, you know, obviously Arteta will have to sell that as like, okay, well, look, we're in the midst of like a rebuilding process and that kind of stuff. And, you know, what he's doing, you know, bringing the young players through, you know, I admire that. It's something that my club's built our foundations on pretty much over the last sort of 20, 30 years, pretty much. But, you know, and I think Arteta will have that, not just go out and buy like all these big expensive names. I think he's going to try and build the core around what he's got there at the moment. You know, yeah, he'll add a few fresh faces here and there, but I think he needs to try and get a caliber of player that's going to be an improvement on what you guys already have. You know, I think definitely someone else that can play at the back, like a decent centre half. I mean, Saliba's obviously coming back, and you know, someone that can play alongside him, whether that's Holding is going to play there, or, you know, whether he's, you know, somehow going to get the best out of David Luiz. But, you know,
yeah, it's been very hit and miss. Like, he was a star in that Man City game, you know what I mean? So you can see the benefits of having him around, you know. So,
and I think for the younger guys, it's good because he's an experienced player. You know, he was captain of Brazil. You know, and you don't become a captain for Brazil if you're a bad player, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You know, and look at what he won with Chelsea as well. So, you know, he's a serial winner as well. So that's the thing, that Arsenal have got that in their team. Whereas you look at the Chelsea team at the moment, they're still, although Arsenal are a young team, Chelsea are an even younger team. And it's like, have they really got that many players in their team that are that experienced at winning these big games? And you know, it was kind of like I was saying in the semi-final one. It's like, could the Chelsea players have crumbled under that pressure? Obviously, they didn't, because you know, David De Gea helped him out quite significantly with a couple of the goals.
Like that, though. Like, we're going to have Martinez in goal, and he's done incredible. But I've always liked him. I've always said to my, you know, mates that are Arsenal fans that I rated him, and I thought he just needed more of a chance, because he was third choice when we were checking Ospina, you know, and he'd be in the League Cup, and you could see what he was, you know, like I always liked him. And then when he got this shot, obviously he's now the second choice, and now has become basically at this moment in time first choice while Leno's out anyway. And he might even keep that for a while. But yeah, Arteta's come out and said he will be playing him in the final, which I think is great.
He's not really got much choice, to be honest.
Well, Leno is on the mend, though. Leno is on the mend. I think he technically probably could play.
So they might kind of keep him on the bench.
Yeah, I think he might be on the bench. But yeah, I would pick Martinez anyway. But yeah, I think I'm more confident that we, you know, not to rub it in about De Gea and that, but De Gea's form has just not been where it was, you know, before lately. And yeah, I don't see Martinez, this could be famous last words, I don't see Martinez getting caught out like that, just from the way he's been. That save against Liverpool, for example, was phenomenal, you know. So
yeah,
even made a nice little t-shirt design. We might be selling that on the website soon. But yeah, it's things like that that give me hope, confidence. Aubameyang, and Lacazette both refinding their form. Aubameyang never really lost it, to be fair, but as far as big games go, and Lacazette's been doing good. Kieran Tierney's doing well. It seems like when it really mattered against City, David Luiz stepped up, So for that, I am more confident. Like you said, there's a lot of young players at Chelsea, and they've got the players like Giroud sprinkled in there, and that's where I do get a bit worried because I know what Giroud is capable of, and obviously what they did to us last year, even though, again, it was a slightly different Chelsea team. But, I keep looking at the scarf over there, that's 2017 final, So I'm hoping it's a bit of that coming into play here, and we go up early, like 1-0 up early. But my prediction would be 2-1 to Arsenal. I do feel like part of me thinks it's going to be that. We're going to go up early like we did against Man City. But then I think it can't be a clone of that. And to get 2 games like that, Man City and Liverpool so close, I think we might have to change it up for Chelsea a little bit. Not that they're as strong as Man City and Liverpool at the moment, but they're still a very strong team. So I think our tactics will be a little bit different. So part of me actually sees them going in front first and us clawing back 2 goals, kind of like a 50th and 85th minute type deal. But we ain't got Aaron Ramsey this time. That's my only worry there.
Yeah, so you don't think you're going to go like all the way extra time? That kind of...
No, I don't see it this time. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I do think it's going to be close. I think as well it may come down to... I think it may come down to the Chelsea team as well, really, because obviously they've had goalkeeping issues as well. It's like it's strange that we're actually, we're talking more about the goalkeepers than like the goal scorers kind of thing. And obviously it seems like Kepa's been really out of favour now, and looks like he's pretty much heading out the door. And obviously they've got Caballero who's getting on a little bit, shall we say? And yes, it's weird because I feel like Chelsea have got more like match winners in their team. Like if I look around their team, it's like they've got like the likes of Giroud, Abraham, Jorginho, Pedro, Pulisic.
Yeah.
But then, it's not just your attacking players that you're going to rely on scoring goals. You've got like Arsenal have got the likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang. You've got Pepe that can come on, Saka. But yeah, it's weird. Like I can't really pick really who's going to win, but I guess, I'm always one of these things where if a team beats us in a semi-final, I always like to be like, I'd like to see them then go on and win the trophy.
Depends who it is, though.
Depends who, yeah. If it's City or Liverpool, then it's like, I hope you get smashed.
Because if you want to feel like you've gone out for a reason, like the winners beat us. Do you know what I mean? Like fair play. I know what you mean about that. But yeah, it depends on the team.
Like I'm sure, like if Tottenham beat you guys, you'd be like,
it wouldn't matter then. Yeah,
I want you to go out in the next round.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, it's like, it's really tough. I mean, I can see, it's one of them things where I can see both teams doing it. I reckon the score is probably going to be like, it's going to be either a 1-0 or 2-1. I think it'll be quite cagey. Who do I pick? I'm literally thinking I might just go get a coin and just flip a coin on it. But
what's your gut tell you? What's your gut say? What can you picture? Like you say, I can picture both things, but I don't know. I'm just a little bit leaning towards Arsenal. That might be more my excitement about it, and obviously natural bias, which I try not to be, but it's going to seep through a bit, especially when it comes to the final. But
yeah, see, I mean, part of me feels like Arsenal have got more of the history with the FA Cup, and they could go on and win it because they've got that mentality of, okay, we can go on and get like the 13th FA Cup.
It'd be 14th, yeah, we've got
14th FA Cup.
Yeah.
There we go.
Even 13's the record, obviously we currently hold, but which is why I'm also slightly glad it went Man United, because I couldn't face you guys equaling our record. So
yeah, and that's part of why I'd want Chelsea to win. So
yeah, because
so we're still then within one kind of thing. But seeing the fact obviously that you guys beat City as well, which that was obviously a good result, and I think I'm probably going to go Arsenal win.
Oh, I can't believe it, mate.
I think I'm going to go for an Arsenal win.
See, we've both been like, no, Arsenal ain't getting through this round on the 2 previous ones, and now we're both like, yeah, Arsenal's going to win. And now I'm worried we're both going to be wrong again.
It's because everyone likes a giant killing in the FA Cup final.
Come on. But
The
yeah.
last time I did that was the Man City Wigan FA Cup final, and I'd said all day in that final, Wigan are going to win this 1-0.
I watched that round yours. We watched that together.
I was so tempted to go to a betting shop and put money on that. Wigan winning the game 1-0. Didn't put a bet on. Wigan won 1-0.
Regret, mate.
You know,
they got
so
relegated that year as well, didn't they? So
yeah.
I mean, we're not
at
doing
least
that.
you ain't got no danger of that.
Yeah. Not anymore, at least. Yeah.
I just feel like Arsenal will probably do it because they've got more to play for as well. The fact
but
that
again, I thought that in last year's Europa, League final, it was the same. We really needed that, and to have a European trophy, right? It's not the European trophy, but that's what I was really confident going into the Europa League. I was scared, but I was really confident, and we just got battered, man. Absolutely battered. I queued up to a pub for about 3 hours, man. Oh.
But then, if you say to me this year, do you want the Europa League? It's like, even though we're already in the Champions League for the league position, I'd be like, well, yeah, because it will turn a good season into a great season.
Yeah,
because,
and for us, an awful season into a great season.
It's like that kind of bit of light at the end of the.
Like, if we win the trophy after the season we've had, mate, it'll be so funny, so ironic.
Especially because you change managers halfway through as well.
Yeah, technically would have had 3 as well because Freddie was the caretaker. So I mean, I know he wouldn't be officially classed as a 3rd manager in this season, but he was in charge until we got Arteta in as well. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm already getting nervous about it. I don't know where I'm going to watch it. Like I mentioned, going to the pub, but in the last 3, obviously we've been quite successful with it in the past decade. The one when we broke the drought, I had a house party, watched it in a projector. The year later, we were in Camden, covering Camden Rocks for this very channel. Go and watch some of our interviews from that day. We did a nice Q&A session. And in between that, we scheduled all our interviews around so that I could rush to Pride Galleries to watch the FA Cup final against Aston Villa. And then 2017, I went down the pub and watched it in the beer garden. And now, because of the situation in the world, I don't know what's open and what's going on. So if anyone's got any suggestions out there, something going on in London, and I want to stay safe, guys. I want to stay safe. So I don't want to hear, this pub's doing it and it's crazy. I want to hear this pub's doing it and they're doing it safe. So if anyone's got suggestions, let me know because
I got a suggestion.
Stay home.
Spin your chair round.
Oh yeah, get a little bit of what size is it? Little bar guy on. Oh yeah, maybe I just stay in then. But
you got to think there. You're going to be saving money because you're not going to be paying extortionate beer prices.
I know, but
that's staying safe because you're going to be at home.
That feeling of being around people when that excitement happens, and even commiserations last year. Well, it sucked to lose. At least I was angry with my fellow Gooners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Just get them all on a big Zoom chat or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but
that could work.
I'm looking.
But then it's just but then going back to what I was saying, with the whole thing about Arsenal needing it more than Chelsea, that could also work to their detriment as well because
could be
they could want it too much.
Yeah.
And then get caught on the attack. But I still think you guys are gonna go and do it, and I think you're probably right with the 2-1 scoreline.
There's a lot of fairy tales here to be written, though. Like you said,
exactly,
Lampard,
and it's a chance, I think, as well for somebody to become a hero, someone to write themselves into FA Cup folklore kind of thing. And I mean, I don't know the contract situation with your players. Have you got anyone that's leaving at the end of the season? Because it's literally written for somebody to just pop up and score the winning goal in an FA Cup final, and although it's not seen by many as the spectacle that it used to be, that whole thing of players scoring the winning goal in an FA Cup final, was always a massive deal.
Big deal, yeah. I still feel like it is, mate. Like I said, I love the FA Cup. Even when we're not in it, I'm invested in it. Even when we're not in the final, it was crazy for Watford last year. As soon as the second or third goal went in, this final's over, so there's no point watching. But other than that, I love watching the final. Like you said, the year that Wigan won, that was such a great time. And yeah, Arsenal's got such a history in it. So
and Portsmouth as well.
Portsmouth, yeah. So there's been some great, but even going back to watching that Liverpool West Ham one, was it 05 or 06? 06, I think it was.
The Gerrard
one, the FA Cup always brings up great moments, great matches and stuff like that. Also, it's the 70th anniversary of us winning our third. Where the shirt over there. There we go. We wore the yellow one that game, but that's the same season. Reg Lewis banging in 2 past Liverpool. So I think the club want to do something to celebrate that as well this year, if I'm hearing it correctly. So it's and I like the way they've decorated Wembley. So I don't want it to all come back, biting us on the butt. I want it. So we're lucky we've got all those as we did in the semi-final. I assume it's going to be the same design, but we've got a lot of history in this, and I'm optimistic. but
optimistic, but also realistic.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. I'll get really excited, and then all of a sudden it hits me, and I'm like, oh, especially after what happened in Baku. But,
I think the only thing I think that's missing though from this year is the FA Cup final songs.
The songs, we'll bring them back, mate. Yeah, and the fans, mate. There'll be no.
Well, to be fair, I think that's better if you lose, because then at least you're not got to be there to let fans down. It's going to be weird. I don't know what they're going to do with the trophy lift as well, because
I imagine they might do something like what they did for Liverpool. Did you see the Liverpool one? I watched it, and it was like it was really
unfortunately good. I did see a bit of it, but
it was really good for what they could do. I think if you're going to do it like that. So I imagine both teams have probably been. I imagine there's going to be a thing set up, but then will there be royalty? Will someone be there to, is William going to be
present
there?
The trophy?
Is he going to, because he was part of, because I know this year as well was part of the Emirates gave up some of their rights.
Yeah, for heads up, isn't it?
So which is great, especially the year that's
definitely
been through at the moment, and obviously everybody's becoming a bit more aware of mental health, which is fantastic. So
to be fair, I can't really see the Queen elbow bumping someone.
Yeah, I can see Prince William doing it though. So so it's gonna be an interesting final. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of eyes on it at the moment anyway, not just because it's the FA Cup final, but because it's the only one in history that's ever been quite like it. So there's a lot to play for, a lot to be excited for, and let's hope.
And for you, hopefully, a record. Well,
14th
record anyway, but
keep breaking that record, baby. Yeah.
It's one that no one else can boast. That one, so
true. Yeah.
And then we've obviously got the job again of knocking someone off their perch. So
hey, come on now.
We've got to try and knock you guys off.
But don't say Liverpool are catching up, and we're going to run away with this one, I'm hoping as well. So
yeah, you hope.
Anyway, it's been good to chat to you, Dan, about the FA Cup final. If you guys agree with us, let us know. If you don't, let us know that as well. We're open to hearing what you guys are thinking and who you think is going to be winning the FA Cup. And tell us what you think it means for either side to win as well. Who needs it most? Who deserves it most? And who's actually going to do it?
It's not going to be us.
Not going to be you. Sorry, mate.
I'm in my Chelsea blue though, but anyway.
Yeah, come on now. All right, but anyway, it's been good chatting FA Cup, and we'll do it again.
It has indeed.
I guess,
Cool. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.
I say it with all the sincerity in the
I believe you.